All right, moving over to the featherweight division. We got a banger here between former LFA champion Jose Delano and former featherweight KSW champion Robert Ruchala. You got minus 350 on Delano and plus 285 on the Polish fighter. Now, starting off on the Delano side of things, he is coming off of a dominant victory over Manuel Exposito from the Contender Series, which earned him a contract to the UFC. I think Delano may have set some sort of Contender Series record because he managed to outland his opponent 146-38 in significant strikes. Absolutely crazy. He's able to stuff 3 of 5 takedown attempts from his opponent, but only gave up about 39 seconds of control time. Delano started his career 1-2, then he went on an 11-fight winning streak. Then he came up short against Gabriel Santos in a somewhat close fight before Santos started to pull away. And then obviously we saw Delano go on a 3-fight winning streak and then earn his way to the Contender Series. This is a guy that should have been signed straight to the UFC anyway. Shouldn't have had to go through the headache of fighting on the Contender Series. But I'm glad he showcased what he was capable of there. And now he's actually fighting at the biggest stage in the world. He is a nasty striker. Good distance management, good combinations, stinging power, good head kicks, and really good takedown defense, which forces opponents to strike with him, which is often where he ends up having an advantage over them. And the fact that he's still only 29 years old, this guy's going to continue to grow in the UFC. And if things, go the way that I expect them to, he could be a contender in the featherweight division within the next couple of years. He just needs to continue accruing that high-level experience and showcasing that he deserves to be fighting at this level, which I think a lot of people can already agree that he does. Now, he's going up against Robert Ruchala, who had his UFC debut back in September as he went up against William Gomez. And that fight showcased that even though some of these guys come over as champions from some of these bigger promotions overseas, there is still a pretty big gap between the types of guys that they're defending their titles against and guys that are on the brink of being ranked in the UFC. William Gomez was just a very tough matchup for Ruchala. Ruchala tried getting to a high output volume striking game and then getting to the clinch and getting to his takedowns, but outside of round 2, he really struggled. Even with Gomez fighting off of his back foot the entire time, Ruchala was getting clipped and touched and countered as he tried crashing the pocket with his own offense. There are holes in Ruchala's striking game which were obviously exposed by Gomez that night, but he showed if he can get to the clinch and get to the takedowns, he can be very difficult to deal with from that top position. He's very good in terms of looking for finishes, looking for TKOs, but I don't know if he will find the same type of success that he had in KSW as he will in the UFC, and I think the Gomez fight was kind of an indicator of that. Good cardio, very durable, very tough to put away. His only KSW loss, I believe, came to Saladin Parnassi, who we know is a high-level fighter, a double champ over there in KSW, now fighting for Netflix, in May. So that's not a bad loss for Ruchala at all, but the Gomez fight kind of gives us an indication of what his success level will be in the UFC. Now, he goes up against Jose Delano. This is a fun fight, right? Two guys that were champions for their promotions that they came up with. But I think Delano's striking edge is going to be too much for Ruchala here. I think Ruchala will get into the clinch. He'll look to land a takedown or two, but I think he will struggle to really assert too much dominance from that top position. I think we'll see Delano quickly work back to his feet in those spots or just stop the takedown outright. And then as Ruchala gets back on the gas in terms of his high volume striking approach, he's going to get clipped. He's going to get countered. He'll probably get hurt a few times as well. And I think it's going to be clear that once this fight hits the scorecards, the Brazilian would deserve to get his hand raised. I'm not too hot on the chalk on Delano. I don't want to disrespect Ruchala that much. The guy was a champion for a reason. I still think this is a fight he ends up coming up short in, but I don't think that this is one where Delano will look, more than 75%. I think there will be some competitive moments in this matchup. The spot that I do like, as of Monday of fight week, the over 2.5, roughly around minus 150, I think this will be close. This will be competitive, but I think the clear winner will be Delano at the end of it. But I expect this to go 15 minutes. So to get minus 150 on this type of fight, I think is probably the spot to shoot on instead of taking a side. So I'll go with Delano by decision as my official prediction.